What up? Big Herc 916 getting down with Fresh Out live stream. Shout out to everybody that subscribed to the channel, everybody who's been supporting us from day one, all of our super chats, everybody who donates on the live, all the Wigsplitters out there. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to the Tinfoil Hat Podcast, Sam Tripoli. If you guys haven't seen that podcast, it was fire. You got to go watch it. We kicked a lot of game in there. Shout out to Bernard and the military stories. And we're going to be bringing you guys a lot more with the military stories. We got some guys coming up this weekend we're filming that we're going to be dropping. And we also got a special guest on the show. One of the actors from the show Ballers is going to bless us with an interview. So we're going to drop that interview real soon. So, yeah, man, stay tuned. We're going to have some really good interviews for you guys. You know, we've done all we can do with the whole prison thing, man. We still speak on it somewhat, but we're about to get the military involved. Shout out to all the military out there. We're about to get people from the Army, from the Navy, from the Marines, from the Air Force telling stories. You know, why they went into the military, what that experience was like, you know, hooking up in the military, traveling abroad. We're about to get all that, man. We're about to have a lot of military stories jumping off. So if you're a member of the military, a veteran, you served, you want to get on with us, you got some good stories, you can inspire our viewers, holler at us, man. Shoot us a message at freshoutseries.com. We would love to hear from you, man. We're lining them up. You know, we're going to be getting some really good interviews and, you know, turning the heat up. Also, if you haven't got a chance, man, and you guys, you know, need to check out the commissary, pick up a cancel culture shirt, represent. You know, we ain't went to bullshit. All these weenies out here crying about this, crying about that, cancel this, cancel that. Hey, man, get out your feelings, man. Be a man, have a conversation, and have some balls, man. Speak your mind, and let's get it cracking, man. So yeah, cancel culture. Also, Big Herc said, "Wash that ass." We got some shirts in. You guys check it out in the store, freshoutseries.com. And you already know about the yard time working out. We got Man in the Can also. Man, represent. Get your health right. Get your mind right. And get your values right. You know, been speaking a lot about values, man, and just a lot of lazy people out there. They want to rob and steal and think it's cool until somebody splits their wig, and then they want to cry. Fat ass dogs, thank you for the donation. Where's my Dunton shirts? And go Padres. No Dunton shirts yet, man. We haven't had enough requests, and we got to do, you know, we do minimums. You know, right now we have a limited run on the cancel culture and on the Big Herc said, "Wash that ass." And so, you know, we do these limited runs, and then we go on to another design. But thank you, man. What up? What up? Yeah. I wasn't in the military, but I grew up around military. My grandfather was in the Air Force, had uncles in the Air Force, in the Army. My stepdad was in the Coast Guard. I lived on a Navy base, you know. So I made a lot of friends on the base, man. Had a lot of good dudes, man, I grew up with whose family was in the military. So, you know, in spite of what people say, you know, I met some good people. You know, I know our soldiers go through a lot, man. You know, a lot of sacrifices, you know, family, health, you know, and I want to give them guys a platform. There's not, you know, everybody's glorifying the streets. You know, let's glorify some guys who chose a different path besides the streets and give them a voice. You know, a lot of them dudes could have easily been somewhere in a prison, you know, for committing a crime, man, but they went into the military, and a lot of them made a good career out of it, man, and turned it into something positive. You know, I always say, rather than sitting around on the block doing nothing, at least you can travel, you can get you some skills, you can meet some people, bust some international cheeks. You know what I mean? You can have fun with it. So I say it's a great option, man. I didn't go into the military, but it might have been a great another option I could have took advantage of had I known all the opportunities I could have had with it, rather than I was going to junior college and I was just kind of wandering, man. I didn't really have a really vision for what I wanted to do, and there's a lot of high skilled trades you can get in the military. Airplane mechanic, you could become a doctor. You got the provost marshals, you got lawyers in the military. There's a lot of stuff, man, if you're smart, man. It's not just going out and shooting a gun, man. What up? I see you, Vallejo. I used to go out to V-Town, SeaWorld, and that club over there by SeaWorld. What was it? Was it a Holiday? A Hilton? They used to have that club jumping over by the Hilton, man. You don't want to get caught slipping over there. Get your wig split over there in Vallejo, man. And Vallejo boys, V-Town boys ain't no joke. V-Town, Richmond, Pittsburgh, man, them dudes will bust your head, man. I know about the Bay, man. What's my opinion on Rene Box Enriquez? I don't really have an opinion. I haven't really studied the guy, man, and I can't really say anything about the dude. That man has his own life, but yeah, I don't really know a lot about him, but what I've seen, little snippets on social media. What lotion do I use? On my face, I use vitamin E. Vitamin E will keep you looking young. Vitamin E, man, not the cut, not nothing, just raw vitamin E on my face. On my skin, I like to use that natural cocoa butter. I try to use no additives. I don't like all that chemicals on my skin. I try to use the real stuff. Very first meal after getting out of prison. I stopped at a Taco Bell, man. I stopped at a Taco Bell because, it was the first thing I saw on the freeway. And, man, I ate that stuff, man, and it had me pooping, man. That thing ran right through me. After eating prison food, top ramen and stuff, your stomach is messed up. It takes a couple weeks, man, of eating on the street to get accustomed to street food. And I wasn't eating top-notch food when I first got out. I was happy to get a burger, slice of pizza. I eventually, I tried to stay healthy here or there, eating, I thought healthy was eating at, what was the spot I used to go to, they had Pollo Loco and, Panda Walk. Yeah, damn Panda Walk, man. Used to go eat up in Panda Walk, think I'm getting something healthy. And that stuff, it ain't healthy, man. It's all that processed stuff, man. What up? Were there anyone with blind in prison? I never run across a blind person in prison. Somebody who might have been close to being blind or didn't have great vision, but I don't recall seeing a blind person in prison, to be honest with you. Not in the feds. Do I think I could survive at a foreign prison? I could survive. Pretty much any situation, but I wouldn't put myself in a foreign prison situation. What I would never do is go internationally and try to do any type of crimes. I'm not gonna put myself in a situation vaping, smoking weed, doing anything. I'm not messing around. When I travel, I'm going there to enjoy myself. I'm not trying to be a prisonologist in another country. I'm good. But yeah, man, not sure when we're gonna do the next meet and greet yet. I told you guys I'm gonna be doing a lot more car stuff on my channel, so I'll be at a lot of car events. But kind of trying to figure out what the next big meet and greet's gonna be. The mentally ill in prison. Well, they have what they call in prison the Thorazine shuffle. There's a lot of guys who go to pill call just because they want to check out, man. I mean, you got a lot of guys who don't want to deal with having to cope with everyday life in prison. I would say probably 70 to 80% people in prison are doing drugs. They're either popping pills, smoking weed, or doing heroin. A lot of people are doing drugs in prison, man. It's a big thing. I mean, you got guys in there that are miserable, depressed, man. So, of course, doing drugs is an escape. So you got a lot of guys in there. Yeah, a lot of guys doing drugs, man. I don't know about the feds integrating yards. I know they got a prison in Ohio that's a pedophile. They got them on the yard. They got their own yard. So you got guys, man. Even in the feds, you got certain places where these guys have committed federal crimes, and they're on they're on their yards, man. And they got their own little thing going on over there. So you got weirdos in there too, man. You know what I mean? I never did time back east, but that's from what I understand. No, I haven't thought about getting back into the porn industry, man. It's that you do that when you're young. You have fun, if you want to have fun. I mean, at my mentality right now, that's like going backwards. I'll be honest with you. When I first got out, I thought I was gonna get back in the game. There was a lot of haters. Dudes who didn't want to let me get back in the game. I had some ideas for doing stuff, and I tried it. I did a couple movies, man, but it wasn't the same, man. I had outgrown that crowd, that whole, that vibe. I wasn't on that same vibe. It's like getting out and hanging back in the hood with niggas, man, that are still there doing the same thing. It wasn't me no more. So I had to move on, man. I moved on to other things, man, bigger things that things I felt that were more conducive for where I want to go in life. You got to look at, not everything is for everybody, and you go through and you do something. I don't hate on the industry. I enjoyed myself, man. I mean, as a kid, as a young person, you thinking, oh man, I'm busting all kind of cheeks, and I had fun during the time I was in it, but I moved on, and it is what it is now. The game has changed a lot. There's a lot of other stuff going on in that business, but I've moved on, man. I'm into cars now. About to start. I'm about to start building my own custom cars for people. I'm into. I got supplements right now with Big Ant. We got clothing and stuff like that. I'm into other stuff now, so I'm not really tripping off of getting down into porn at this point in my life, But I am dropping a book, College, Cannabis, and Cheek Busting. It will be dropping real soon, an erotic novel for those who like to think about the college life, cannabis life, and busting cheek life. It's going to be a dope book. It'll be released real soon. We'll have it on the Fresh Out website. It'll be on Amazon, and it's going to be a good read, man. I look forward to dropping it and you guys enjoying it. It's got some hell of a stories up in it. Do I know a painter named Doc? No, I don't know a painter named Doc. Have you heard the women's prison in terms of levels of violence? Women's prisons are crazy, bro. I don't know if you've seen our interview. I interviewed a girl I went to school with, Yvette, who went and did time at a women's prison, man. And women's prisons are worse than guys' prisons. A lot of emotion. Women are, they a lot of them going crazy in there. Very violent relationships. I mean, dude, I talked to some guys. I knew a dude who said he had worked at a women's prison. He said he got out of there within 30 days. He said it was too much going on, man. He said as a guard working in a women's prison, you will get fired. You will get in trouble. There's a lot of temptation, and dude, it's a lot of potential cheek busting going on in a women's prison. So, women's prison, I mean, if you're a guard up in there, man, it's a lot of pressure. Lot of pressure. The most high-powered prisoner I ever heard of, and when I was in prison, was the Falcon and the Snowman. The guy, I think he was like for espionage. He was. I heard he was at one of the facilities I was at. I didn't really talk to the guy. He hung out with some other white guys, but yeah, that guy was in there. I was also locked up in Lompoc, USP, with Carmine Persico. I believe he was the head of the Colombo family back in the day. But I heard he passed, rest in peace. But he was at Lompoc, USP when I was there. He's a very famous gangster. How much will I charge for my book? I'm not sure. It's a pretty thick book. It's a novel, kind of like Bedroom Gangster. So once I get it all done, it probably be like 16, 18 bucks. But it's gonna be a good read. It's gonna have a dope cover on it. I'm telling you, college cannabis and cheek busting, man. It's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up. Might even turn that thing into a series. The dude in Con Air. I never came across, as far as you talking about serial killer, I've met people who are killers in prison, and whether they consider themselves serial killers, there's dudes I've talked to, I know, who have more than one body, but that's not something. Serial killers never talk about how many people they're killing, man. H. Omeras, thank you for the donation. Do you like to read? Because I worked on my novel for 13 years. If you search my last name on Amazon, the lottery winner and the gun with no bullets. Yeah, I do like to read, man. I mean, but dude, I got so many books I have. I'm reading this book right now, Speed with Style, because I'm into cars and racing. I'm reading this book. I'm about to start reading Joe Louis, The Brown Bomber. And I have another book I'm reading. I'm dipping back and forth between Number Game. So I'm reading like 3 books right now, man. I got myself full, and I'm always reading something in between writing, and I'm doing a lot of writing. I haven't read Richard Speck. Yeah, I mean, well, if you did time, you got out, made a better life for yourself, man, shout out to you. I mean, I tell people all the time, there's nothing to brag about prison. And, we're starting to diversify away from prison, and as far as we're looking for other genres to speak on. We talked about prison. We're not here to glorify all the stories, who got locked up. That shit is old, man. You know what I mean? We speak on it because we don't want you to repeat a stupid cycle, but at the same time, there's too much other things to talk about out there. JB Well, thank you, bro. What advice would you give about writing and publishing a book? Is it profitable? I've made money off my book. I mean, it's an ongoing, basically, it's passive income. The main thing about a book is being able to market it. Marketing is the key. If you have the marketing for a book, that makes a big difference. Self-publishing, it's a little bit more work, but you own your ISBN, you own your copyright. When you go through a publishing house, they own the rights to your book. So, a lot of times, if there's an option for a movie for your book, they negotiate that option. They'll give you a paycheck, but it's not the same. You self-publish. Self-publish, man, it just takes more work, man. You got to really put it out there. I've self-published 3 books. So yeah, you know, I've learned along the way, and it's just being consistent. But you got to put the time in to market your book. Do I think the RICO is constitutional? Hell no. Nah. The RICO, man, they don't even have to have evidence as far as physical evidence. It's all hearsay, you know, and it's basically conjecture. You know, they can say that you did something and you can get your rig split, man, you know, based on predicating acts. So yeah, man, you don't want to ever get caught up with no RICO, man. Um, how do you market your books effectively? On social media, you know, maybe before your book comes out, you advertise like pre-sales. You know, you get people interested. Um, you do maybe a book tour if you can organize a book tour. You know, get some bookstores to have you come in and read out of your book, and yeah, just generate some buzz. Moan, thank you for the donation. Who are my favorite prison YouTubers? I don't watch any prison YouTubers. I don't watch any. I don't care about prison YouTubers. I watch entrepreneur stuff. I watch things about cars, and I watch things about motivation. I don't watch any prison YouTube, bro. To be honest with you, I don't really care about what other people did in prison. To be honest, as far as their YouTube channel, I like when I interview people on my channel. I like people to help through their experience, but I don't watch any prison YouTube. Yeah, they convict people on hearsay. On somebody could said somebody you can never. They don't even have to catch you with drugs. Somebody could say that you were involved in selling X amount of drugs over a period of 24 months, and they'll charge you with that amount of drugs without having those drugs in hand or any evidence of those drugs. Or they can say that you were in charge of ordering certain acts which which resulted in somebody getting hurt. They can charge you with that, you know what I mean? And they don't have to actually show how you directly were involved with those acts. Rico's no joke, bro. You know, these guys running around out here doing all this stupid stuff and running around with these knuckleheads, man. I mean, dude, it's not a good look, man. And that Rico will get your head cracked. And if you don't know federal rules of civil procedure, you don't know federal law or state law, you know, if you don't understand jurisdiction, you better stay out them people's courts. You know, you better stay out their courts, man, because they will get you up in there and lock your ass up. Yeah, that's a water bottle I'm drinking out of. For young men who graduate high school and don't know what to do with their life, the military is offering 40K enlistment bonus for in-demand jobs. Yeah, the military right now, man, they're looking for people, man. You know, they're desperate to have qualified young men go into the military. They need able bodies. All this weird shit they got going on right now, man, these dudes, you know, trying to get rid of masculinity and all this bullshit. You know, we need some strong men out there. So if you are about your business, man, rather than going out there trying to rob the weed man or steal bags or rob somebody for this, you go into the military, you know, do 4 years, get you a GI Bill. You can use that bill to you know, go to college later on. So then you bust international cheeks, military cheeks. Then you go and bust some college cheeks. Then you turn around and you can use that. You also can get qualified for the loan to get your home, and you get certain interest rates. There's a lot of things you get, man. See, you don't get that in the hood. In the hood, you get a kick in the ass when you go to prison, and you know you're dealing with all these knuckleheads in politics. So you know, going into the military for a lot of you guys, it gets you out of the neighborhood and gets you to travel, because once you leave the neighborhood, you realize the world is big, man. There's a lot of things going on in the world that you see in the neighborhood that's way beyond that. You know what I mean? Whatever whatever little neighborhood you live in, if you haven't traveled the world internationally or outside your state, you're missing out on a lot, man. And when you go to prison, you're gonna be trapped in that same little big ass warehouse, you know, and you're gonna be wasting your time, man. Your most valuable commodity is not money. Time, man. Manage your time. Your time is your most valuable commodity. You guys got to learn to manage your time and do things that are productive. So, you know, I always tell people, man, that's what I used to think about all the time. Like, man, um, you know, I wanted to get out sooner than later, so I tried to take care of my health. So when I got out, I didn't age real bad. Some people, you know, they don't take care of their bodies. They get really bad shape, and the whole thing is, man, you never know how long you're going to be on this earth. So you want to be able to be in the best condition possible, so that you can take advantage of opportunities. Yeah, and that's another thing. If you don't use the GI Bill to go to college, you can give it to your kids so your kids can go to college. So you can give your kids a better opportunity, man. And that's what life's all about. You want to give your kids a better opportunity than you did, you know, than you had. And if you're not trying to do that, you're a piece of shit. If you got a kid and you want your kid to not have more opportunities than you, then you're a piece of shit. Yeah, somebody said the world is so big we could all fit in Texas and have an acre. Yeah, if you drive through, like I drove through Idaho, me and Big Ant, man, Idaho, man, oh man, that place crazy. There's nothing, miles and miles and miles and miles of just flat. You know, I've driven across Nevada, miles and miles and miles and miles, man. This world is not overcrowded, man. These people be lying. They be lying, man. They act like, oh man, the pollution. Man, there's places I drove through, you won't see nobody for miles, miles, man. So you know, it's so much out there, man. You got to just get out of the jungle, man. Somebody said I went to college because my dad's military service paid for it. There you go. Yeah, all branches are hurting for recruits. You can be shipped out to boot camp in 45 days with 20 to 40K bonus for you when you come home and graduate. So you guys, look, you go to the military, you get $20,000 to $40,000 bonus. Now you go there, you learn some skills, figure out what you want to do. You can use that 20 to 40 grand to start you a business. You can come back, start you maybe a mechanics business, maybe a plumbing business, open up a muffler shop. You can do all kind of stuff, man. It's a great opportunity. You know, there's so many things you could do. 40 grand, bro, you could turn that into $100-something. You know, whether it's invested in some property, you know, trying to Airbnb it out, you know, create passive income, flipping cars, you know, get into the used car game. I mean, there's money there. That's what I did when I first got out, man. I was flipping cars off of Craigslist. You know, that's how I made my initial chunk of change, man, was hustling like that. Go to trade school, you know, maybe get a food truck, you know, invest in a food truck, you know, make some money. There's all kind of things you could do, man. Trucking company, you know, if you don't mind driving, you can start you a trucking company. You can start you a power washing business. If you can power wash in front of these buildings, man, these buildings with all the homeless pooping and peeing on them, dude, the sidewalks are filthy. So if you can start you a power washing business and go around and get you some contracts, dude, you can make you $100,000 a year power washing sidewalks. Memphis. I've never been to Memphis. I've been to Nashville. You are correct. Something like 11B ain't getting you a business. I have read The Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read that book a while ago. Great book, man. Um, yeah, man. Lot of opportunities out there. It's all about what you put into it, man. You got to remember, anything you do yourself, you're gonna have to put in more work, more time. You just can't give up. You can't get uh, disenfranchised. You can't get, you got to be motivated, man. But at the end of the day, that's your business. I've been to Detroit. We interviewed a guy out in Detroit, man. A couple years ago, me and Ant flew out to Detroit, man, and yeah, man, we had a great little interview out there. We went to a hip hop concert out in Detroit, with downtown Detroit. Yeah, man, we were in the hood. We were over about 8 Mile. Detroit ain't no joke, man. It was no joke when we were out there. Haven't been to Evansville, Indiana. Favorite place I traveled to? Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo, Japan was cool. I want to go to Europe next year. I got to figure it out, though, because I want to go to F1 in Vegas next year, too. So those are two big trips that cost a lot of bread. So I got to figure out which one I really want to do. But I might do both. I kind of want to go to 24-hour Le Mans. Daytona, 24-hour Daytona. But I got to figure it out. But yeah, Tokyo, Japan was nice. The Alabama coast was nice. Where else? I went to New York before the pandemic. I was in the Bronx when I did the Vice documentary, and the Bronx was actually back then, bro. It was clean. It was safe. Man, I wouldn't go back there now. They wilding out in the Bronx now, man. But when I was out there, 2018, 2019, yeah, man, it was nice. It was New York was pretty chill, man. I think I went, and then before that I was in New York in 2000. I want to say late 2000s. No, well, I went to 8 Mile, but I was also in the hood of Detroit. We were out there. If you Google one of our interviews, we actually interviewed a guy. He was from the hood in Detroit, and the Uber driver, when he dropped us off, he was making sure that's where we wanted to get dropped off at, because it was the hood. I'll tell you the name of the guy right now. Fresh Out Detroit. We were in we interviewed Peanut out in Detroit. Brian, aka Peanut, and dude, it was the hood, man. You know what I mean? Watch the interview. Watch the interview when we were in Detroit, man, with Peanut. We were over by, matter of fact, we were by Crunk Gym. The old Crunk Gym. We were right over there where Hitman Hearns used to train at. JB Well, thank you for the donation. Out of all the former drug addicts you met in prison, what drug would you say changed people's personality the most? It seems like some of the homeless dudes' brains are fried out here and they're not coming back. I don't know, man. Drugs have changed. I mean, people are functioning heroin addicts. It's just they get a bad batch and they overdose, but people are functioning. But it just puts you in a really horrible place. But meth has people, man. Meth will have you on one. Meth will have you, fighting, violence. You know what I mean? Wanting to steal. I just, I've seen relatives on meth, man, and they be tweaked the hell out. That meth, man, that meth is a whole nother animal. Meth will age you. It'll put 2 years of meth will put about 10 years on you. But I'm not really in a drug scene like that, so I don't know what they're doing now. I know they got, guys are smoking spice. They're smoking bath salt. doing all kind of crazy stuff, man. So I don't really know what the major drugs out there that are frying. I know I'd be scared to hell to do drugs, man. I mean, you know, you get some fentanyl or you get some of this stuff, man. You never come back. Eat cake. Thank you for the donation, man. Canada loves all. Yeah, man. Canada, old Trudeau, man. That guy is a cold piece, man. Cold piece. I'll pass on going up there. But shout out to you, man. I know you guys are hanging in there. Yeah, meth have somebody stealing, man. It'll have somebody stealing right in front of you and then try to rob you. You know what I mean? Meth is just a horrible, very, man, have you tweaked out, man. Have, you know, women be doing all kind of stuff for it. I mean, dudes be gone. I mean, meth, I have a dude, he'll take your car apart. He'll take the engine out of your car and put it back in the same, within 24 hours. Meth will have you tweaked out. I see some dudes on meth, man, gone. Yeah, man, it's a hard drug to kick too. Yeah, downtown. We also stayed over by we didn't stay over by where the Crunk Gym is. We did the interview over there, but we actually stayed in the nice part. We stayed over by Michigan, not too far from University. It's nice over there. I mean, it was like almost an hour and a half, 2 hours from where we did the interview at. It was like about over an hour from where we stayed at, where we did the interview. Japan. Yeah, I've been to Mexico. I just been to Encinitas. No, I've been to, what was it, Rosarita. Back in the day, that used to be the party spot. I haven't been to Cancun. Oh, I've been to Belize. You know, while I was on a cruise, that was fun. Going on a cruise is fun, man. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to go on a cruise, you should experience that. I don't know how it is now. I went before all the craziness, but man, they got the buffets. You know, the food anytime you can go and eat any time of the night. Man, it's a lot of different things to do. You know, you got dancing, you got entertainment, you got the pool, you got the gym. And it's like, dude, you got to get a room with a you got to get a balcony room though. You don't want to be in the middle of the ship. The balcony room, you get to look out, man. You can open your window and stuff, man, and it's cool. Does in prison inmate give you a chance? I don't know what you're talking about. I would say at 18 years old, man, you don't need to be in a relationship, man. You know, if you want to have fun, and I'm gonna be straight up, man. You know, strap your Jimmy on. You know, cover that thing up with something for protection, and dude, focus on getting your life together. You know, you're not gonna really have a good grasp on life perspective until you get to your late 20s. I would say don't get married until your late 20s, man. At the earliest, 28, 29. Getting married 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 is too young. Too young, man. Too many things going on in the world, man. You're not ready. Getting married that young, it's like, it's hard to make it work like that because you haven't lived enough life. JB Well, thank you for the donation. Are cruises good for cheek busting, assuming there are a lot of couples in the swapping on those? It depends. I mean, there's singles cruises. I know guys who used to go on single cruises and they were busting cheeks. Dudes told me, man, they would take a singles cruise down to Cancun and, man, it was on and cracking. It was on and cracking. So if you're, you figure you're going on a cruise, if you're single and it's a singles cruise, oh my God, if you can't come up on that, everybody's there to have fun and they're most likely you're never going to see them again. So if you got the bread going on a singles cruise, you should get your numbers up. Your numbers should go through the roof. You should be, man, you know, all you got to do is swing for the fences. You know, you don't even have to waste time on somebody if they're not playing, if they're playing too many games, man. I mean, there's too many. There's thousands of some people on a singles cruise. Oh man, you'd be busting cheeks all every day. I don't recall anybody. I know somebody that was at I mean, a couple guys said they were from Leavenworth, but to be honest, man, I wasn't, when I was in prison, man, I wasn't really doing I didn't really interact with a lot of people, man, about prison stuff, man. What I did in prison, I used to read the Wall Street Journal, the Business Weekly, Money Magazine, DuPont Register, Robb Report, Vanity Fair, what else? I try to read a lot of stuff, man, to keep my mind. Forbes magazine. I try to keep my mind out of prison. I wasn't really caring about prison, different prisons and stuff, man. If they ship me, they ship me, but I wasn't really into that. Free R. Kelly, thank you for the donation. Herc, do you ever see private prisons going away? Is there future of the prison industry going to be owned by government to cut out corporate corruption? Private prisons, man, these guys got money, man. CCA, Corrections Corporations of America, they went into 48 states and they propositioned those states to buy. They would run their prisons so that the states didn't have to worry about that, and the states would get paid for them running their prisons. But CCA wanted to make sure that the states had a 90% occupancy. 90%. So they're not trying to get rid of prisons. They're not closing them down. They want people in prison for the stockholders, man. They're making money. I keep telling these guys, man. These people acting up, man. These music videos, those are prison commercials. They want the prisons full. They want people in prison, sitting on a bunk, standing up for 4 o'clock count, so that the stockholders can get a return. That's passive income for them. Prison is a business, man, and I don't see it going away, because with all these people now doing all these crimes, dude, they can be prosecuting people for the next 10 years, man, and have prisons filled up. Next 10 years. Mikey Johnson, thank you for the donation. Per usually, I'm late to the chat, but it's all good. Keep spreading that positive message, Herc. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, prison's big business, man. These people, man, they they want a 90% occupancy. How are they gonna have prison reform with a 90% occupancy? See, they tell you that, these politicians, oh, we're gonna help these guys. We want to help people get out of man. Look, they trick you into committing crimes because they give you no bail. You keep getting out. So you're building up your resume. You're building up your prison resume, and pretty soon, you got 6, 7 charges. You got to plead out. You're going to go sit down. You done gave up your time because you thought they had prison reform, and all they did was these young people got tricked into thinking crime is going to be allowed, that there's no consequence. You had a guy the other day, this guy raped a lady in Philadelphia, 4:30, 5:30 in the morning on the subway, holding the gun to her boyfriend. Who does that, man? What type of piece of shit holds a gun to somebody's boyfriend and rapes him in front of him? Come on, man. So if the guy would have threw a knife at him and killed him, would he have been right for this guy raping his girl right in front of him? You can't live like that, man. You can't have a society where people could rape and rob, man. It's not right, man. You can't have a society like that. That's why they have prisons, man. And people talk about, oh, man, you're making excuses. There's no reason to be doing that type of stuff, man. There's no reason. There's jobs everywhere. Opportunity everywhere. There's no reason for it, man. You know, I'm talking about now. Right now, people trying to still justify from old. Right now, what people are doing is not justified. It's, you can't tell me that you can try to make it sound like it's cool or man, we're getting man, get over it, man. Most of these people didn't grow up with any hardship. Most of these people, man, they had the smartphone from 10 years old. These people been on a smartphone since they were 10 years old, man. Yeah, JB Well, thank you for the donation, man. Appreciate you again, brother. Yeah, prison is just time out for adults, man. And time you can't get back. I lost over a decade, man. I'm telling you from experience, man. I lost over a decade, man. And I think about it, I'm like, dude, 10 years? I'm almost 50, but really I'm only 40. I lost 10 years. 10 years, man, between juvenile hall, CYA fire camp, and federal prison. 10 years of my life, man, sitting in a cell. I wasn't able to bust no cheeks. I wasn't able to travel. I wasn't able to build my career or make money. I was trapped. I was trapped inside a cell for 10 years, bro. It's horrible, man. I tell you guys, man, this shit is garbage. This prison shit, guys who act like, you know, guys now there with cell phones in there. I don't want to be doing no damn burpees in prison. That's garbage, man. Prison is horrible. Prison is straight garbage, man. Yeah, man. You know, at the end of the day, man, you guys gotta really start thinking for yourselves, man, and stop letting the social media dictate the way you look at life. Free R. Kelly, thank you for the donation. Governor Newsom said he wants to start legislation to end private prisons in California. Would this be beneficial to inmates? Much love from Pomona. Much love to you, man. I don't know, man. I mean, look at the crime in California right now, bro. I mean, I don't know how it would benefit how it would benefit California. As far as, first of all, you got to get rid of Newsom because he don't care. I mean, he's pushing an agenda right now. I mean, homeless in front of people who pay rent. I mean, I don't want to see a dude taking a poop and I'm paying $3,000 a month. Crime is out of control. You know, these guys they're multi-millionaires. And what are they doing in the office but lip service? They're shutting down businesses. They're forcing all these men. I mean, dude, they're garbage. They ruined California, bro. They ruined it. So, be honest, I don't know what that would do. But, I mean, at the end of the day, man, they're all eating off of prisons, man. All those guys got investments in prisons. All those government officials. They're all making money off of prison, man. Eat cake. Thank you for the donation, bro. Man, thank you. Appreciate you, big dog. Have a great night, all. Love your message. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Big ups to you, man. Do I agree with the death penalty? I can't. There's a lot of cases, man, where the death penalty, they didn't allow evidence that now is available to vindicate people who have been on death row. There's been a lot of people falsely accused on death row for crimes that DNA proved that they were innocent. So, you know, my thing is give a man the righteous opportunity to appeal, to actually look at if there's new evidence that can save somebody's life. But as far as somebody caught, like mass shooter, anybody right on TV, somebody doing anything on camera, bro, he can get the death penalty. You shoot somebody right there, you don't have no thing, you should get, that's it, wrap. I bet you people stop doing it. I bet you if the guy who did a mass shooting, if they gave him the firing squad within a week, I bet you he wouldn't do it. I bet you people would stop doing it. I bet you. I bet you if these guys shooting like that, if the family of the people were shooting back, I bet you they stop all of it. I bet you. I bet you the fear, you go shoot somebody in Egypt or Saudi Arabia, you'll be killed in less than a year. You shoot anybody over there, you will be murked by the government within less than a year. They will take care of you. Yeah, not playing, bro. People over here think it's a joke. Quarty 281, thank you for the donation. Herc, tell the youngsters to stop voting these Democrats in. They aren't the same as the 90s. They're all about the new Republicans. Yeah, man, you know, politics, man, you know what? I never really got involved into it until I seen how corrupt. It's all corrupt, man. These people, you got even some Republicans voting for bills that are horrible. They're voting for bills in the House, man, that are horrible. Some of these bills they're trying to pass, you know what I mean? That they're trying to push legislation, take away people's rights. Ultimately, these people want to take away as many of your rights as possible. And once they take a right, they're not giving it back. They're not going to give that right back when they take it away. You're not getting it back. So you guys got to start, man. You better pay attention, man. You know, especially at the county level. Big Red Machine 510. Thank you for the donation, brother. What do you think about all the incels shooting places up because they can't get laid? You know, well, I think there's a lot of young people, man, getting these guns at a very young age. Most of them are going and buying them legit, but the fact that they think that nobody's gonna shoot back, you gun these dudes down in the street, gun them down. Dude, you're shooting, gun them down, man, gun them down. You're letting loose, you kill 2 or 3 people, gun them down. That's how I feel about it. You gun them down, they think twice. Everybody thinks they can shoot and live. You think you can freely run around shooting people and you can still live. If you shoot somebody and you get shot back, people will stop shooting people. Blow them off, man. Take them out the game, bro. They don't need to get back. You don't need to sit in prison for 50 years. Gun them down. Like the guy in Indiana. The guy shot, he went into food court, started shooting people. A 22-year-old legally carrying shot him down before the police got there. That's what he gets. Shoot his ass down. JB Well, thank you for the donation. Always say if the death penalty wasn't effective, organized crime like the mob wouldn't use it. Fear is a major deterrent. You're absolutely right. You cross the mob, you die. You cross the cartel, you die. You cross somebody's family and they shoot you down, yeah, man, it keeps you from doing shit. If you knew that every house you robbed into, they were armed and they could shoot you down dead. If you thought that you can go, if you went in there and there's a chance that that person had a booby trap and bullets would shoot up out the doors, I bet you people wouldn't rob. They wouldn't rob. If you know that you run in somewhere and the dude's gonna shoot you leaving, shoot you in the back, you pull the gun on him. I mean, that's the whole thing, man. People think that they can get away with shit and there's no consequence. That's why California turned into what it is. People think there's no you steal, run down the street. If somebody busted you in the kneecaps with a bat after you stole from them, I bet you won't steal no more. I bet you. Brisbane, I see you, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I reached out to a friend in the military. I told him, man, the military needs to holler at me. And these recruiters need to come on here, man, and spit some game, man. These young people need to know there's options. Get the hell out of the neighborhood. Get the hell out of the city. Go do something with your life, man, before you get a little hood rat pregnant and your life is over with. You know, so I tell them, man, there's a lot of opportunities, but you got to get out the neighborhood. So yeah, man, I've told a couple people, man, that, we have a big audience and, the military is a great opportunity to help a lot of these young people, man. R.I.P. Ryan Leone, man. Yeah, Ryan Leone. I've never had any guys from DC on my channel. No, not yet. Evo, Cali, Poop Hole, Homeless, be up in there. So yeah, let's get into the shout outs, man. Where you guys from, man? Where's everybody from tonight? Stop worrying about the youth? Well, hey, man. That's what you can say. I'm going to keep spitting game, bro. I know what it's like being a young person. So if you don't care, then you can go and say that wherever. I don't care. You don't care. I still care. I don't like seeing people ruin their lives. Wichita, Kansas. Shout out to you. Manchester, UK. Maryland. 301. Maine. Durham, North Carolina. Boston, New Jersey. Al Smith, thank you for the donation. Big Herc, have you worn boxers that had 10,000 butts in it? Yes, I've worn some boxers. I didn't have a choice. I had to wear some Duntanuns that probably had over 1,000 asses in them. Horrible, man. That's why I will not go back to jail or prison. If you go to jail or prison, you will have to wear underwear of 1,000 barbarians. Down East Maine, Chicago. Toronto, Canada, Iowa. Dallas. Detroit in the house, Montana. Leavenworth, Kansas, 913. Somebody in Baghdad, Iraq. St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah, you can say the military, you can call it what you want, man, but it's better than being in the hood. If you're smart, you play it. I know a lot of people, the military helped them get out of the neighborhood. So you can hate on it, but for somebody who has nothing going on, if you ain't doing shit, the military is a great option for you, man. It's better than sitting around smoking weed or messing around doing a stupid robbery. So, you know, you got to look at the person's situation. If you're a smart kid and you can get into college, you got great SATs, your family got money, go to college. But if you don't have opportunity, man, I'll tell you right now, you can say what you want, brother. Ali from Cali, what up, man? Hey, Big Herc, would you interview Michael Thompson? I don't know who that is. Dude, if they want to come on the show, tell them to shoot us a message, freshoutseries.com. A lot of times people say, hey, interview this guy. Hey, I can only do if they want to do it. If they want to do it, have them reach out to us. I reach out to a lot of people, man, and then they flake. They get scared. Get cold feet. Sacramento, Cleveland, Ohio, Portland, Oregon, I see you. A long story short, thank you for the donation. Do you know the YouTuber Brandon from Long Beach? No, I don't know him. I don't know Brandon from Long Beach. Never heard of him. Yeah, man. You know, you guys, you got to look at what, you know, what's best for you, man. You know what I mean? I can't tell you that the military is great for everybody. All I can say is that, you know, we're going to start interviewing more military people, give them an opportunity. I know for a lot of guys, it changed their lives. Some people, maybe it wasn't as great as others. You know, we're gonna get the truth though. We're not gonna, you know, we're gonna show both sides. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm just saying, do something with your life, man. If you don't want to go in the military, go take a trade. Go take a trade. Get out the hood. Virginia, O Block, Chicago. You guys, please stop killing each other. India. Yeah, man. North Highlands, Hillsdale Boulevard. Much love to everybody, man. Look forward to streaming with you guys next week. Brandon Buckingham. Now, I haven't heard of him. If he does anything about prison, I've never watched any of his stuff. I don't watch any prison YouTube channels. I don't want to watch prison when I'm at home. Baltimore in the house. Manchester, England. Big Herc, do you F with the Free Palestine movement? I don't know a lot about the movement, but I know there's some things going on that they don't talk about on social media. But, you know, hey, man, more power to you, man. You know what I mean? I just can't really speak on it because I don't know anything about it. But I'm out, you guys. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.